performance of the year. A great fight, starting 2012 with a bang. And the bang, it was the first time, and the bang, it will be the second time. But before we're going to start talking about the fight and start introducing the people here, I really want to take a moment to acknowledge this is the first press conference I'm doing here with Stephen Espinosa. Stephen was our longtime attorney at Golden Boy. We miss him. The good news is we're going to continue to work together. He's a terrific guy, and I think the fact that he really put his foot and his wallet, more importantly, forward to buy this fight, I think shows you that Showtime and Stephen are here, and they're going to want to bring the best and biggest fights to the fight fans from around the world. So I'm really excited, Stephen, to embark together with you on that new chapter. I know we're going to do a lot of business together. You're a terrific guy, and you can always count on our support. Thank you. This is really the perfect way to kick off 2012. Ortiz Vs Berto is the single biggest fight you can make in the sport of boxing, unless, of course, you're talking about the super fight between Mayweather and Pacquiao. But short of that, I think this is as good as it gets. And from a style matchup, I think it's probably the single best fight you can make. So we're really thrilled that both fighters have agreed to show their skills again in the ring. I know it's going to be explosive. I know it's going to be a firework. The first fight is a Fight of the Year candidate with multiple knockdowns and back-to-back battle. In the end, Victor Ortiz came out victorious, handing Andre Berto his first career loss. So it was a terrific fight, and I think round 6, when both guys went down, certainly has the opportunity to become round of the year for 2011. So now the question is, will it be a repeat or will it be revenge? Both fighters are going to be looking forward to set the record straight again for Victor Ortiz, to beat him again. And for Andre Berto, of course, he's looking for revenge. Both are young, both are in their prime, both are great fighters, are action-packed fighters. So fight fans from around the world, I know this is one of the fights you all be looking forward to. The fight will be held at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas. I want to thank Richard Sturm, the President of Sports and Entertainment, for getting this fight, for putting their brand and their marketing muscle behind it. There are going to be a lot of activations at the MGM Grand from the time from now on leading up to the fight, first with the holidays and then of course with the big Super Bowl weekend, and all that will really result in what I believe will be a sellout. Talking about sellout, tickets are priced starting at $50. That's why I'm sure there's going to be a little bit for everyone, for every size wallet, from $50 to $100, $150 and $300. If this first weekend is any indication, tickets went on sale on Friday, and we already sold in the first weekend over 1,000 tickets. So that's really very encouraging. I think we're going to have a great event, a great night at hand. This is really for both fighters. They're going to make history. And what I mean by that is, for the first time, a non-pay-per-view fight will be actively promoted utilizing a free over-the-air network, meaning CBS. CBS is putting their muscle behind these two guys, behind this fight, and so there is really much more than what meets the eyes. There is really a tremendous opportunity for both fighters to get significant exposure on CBS. CBS will use, among many other platforms, its AFC Championship game on January the 22nd, I believe it is, 21st, Saturday the 21st, to promote the fight with on-air spots, but giving both fighters an opportunity at halftime as well to be there and state their case why this is such a tremendous showdown. So really, I want to thank Stephen to get this network, CBS, on board to promote this fight. This is a tremendous opportunity, guys. And you're going to be the first ones to do that, and it just shows that there is a new sheriff in town at Showtime, and that's just one of many things which you will see going forward. Another example of the innovation which will be coming is there's going to be the time of non-televised undercards is going to be over at Showtime. There's going to be no more non-televised undercards, because for the big fights like this one here, undercards will be televised. They will be televised, they will be part of a broadcast which will be shown on one of the Showtime platforms, and I'm sure Steven will be telling you more about that. But there's an opportunity for all the fighters on this card to really get exposure, on-air exposure. By the way, the card will be part of a triple header. A triple header which will be showcasing as well two other great young fighters, some of the best talents. One of them is Gary Russell Jr. and the other one is Erislandy Lara. So for fight fans, be it live at the MGM or at home watching it on Showtime, by the way, non-pay-per-view, even a lot of people ask me, is this a pay-per-view? I said, no, it's not. This is as good as it gets, and you don't have to pull out your wallet. It's going to be free on Showtime. On Showtime to see Gary Russell Jr., the man probably with the fastest hands in the sport, best prospect probably in the sport, Erislandy Lara, a tremendous fighter from Cuba who defected, who frankly gave Paul Williams more than he could handle, and then these two young fighters and champions all in one night. This is as good as it gets. So I'm really thrilled now to introduce to you for the first time the president of Showtime Sports and Life Events, Steven Espinosa.
Is the single most compelling, most exciting, most highly anticipated fight available. That's why it was my #1 priority from the very first minute that I accepted the position with Showtime to make sure that this fight appeared on Showtime. Not only am I excited, very proud to have this at Showtime programming, all of my colleagues are very excited as well. As Richard outlined, we will be receiving the support of our parent company, CBS, and all of its platforms, which includes the Free Television Network, CBS Interactive, and other CBS sports networks. All of these plans will be developing more as time goes forward. Richard also mentioned one of our other platforms, Show Extreme. Show Extreme has blossomed into one of the strongest cable television sports programming outlets. Show Extreme is where we replay all of our boxing events, MMA events, and the rest of our award-winning sports programming, including inside the NFL, inside NASCAR, and the franchise. So we will be airing what used to be non-televised undercards, will now be airing on Show Extreme in the time before the fight. The running time of that will be to be determined based on the undercard parts that are scheduled. And then beginning at 10 p.m. Eastern and Pacific, we'll go live on Showtime Network with the co-feature bouts and the main event. We're very proud to be working with Golden Boy and with DeVella. This is going to be an amazing fight. But aside from being an amazing fight, these are two of the brightest young stars in the sport. And that is yet another reason why it was so important for Showtime to acquire this event. These are two world-class athletes, and as importantly, if not more importantly, two world-class young men, very articulate, very personable, and they're exactly the type of young man that Showtime wants to be in business with going forward. Looking forward to February 11th. It's guaranteed to be a great event. Before I'm going to introduce the camps, just one other note at the request of both fighters. Both fighters have agreed to be subject to the Olympic-style drug testing, which will be performed and administered by the Volunteer Anti-Doping Association, WADA, which will include random blood and urine testing, and is under the WADA protocols, under the World Anti-Doping Association Olympic-style drug testing. So both fighters requested that, and that will be starting right away. It's a pleasure now for me to introduce to you our co-promoter for this event. Lou Bella is not here, he's back east, but it's a pleasure for me now to ask Kevin Rooney Jr., the Director of Public Relations
for the Bella Entertainment to come up to the podium and introduce Team Berto.
Working with Golden Boy, working with Steven Espinosa and everyone at Showtime. This is, as they touched on, this is going to be a huge event, the first big boxing event in 2012. February 11th is going to be a great night, and we're looking forward to being a part of it and having everyone there. Fights like this are what boxing is all about. I've been a fight fan my entire life, and anytime you have two great young athletes, great young stars going toe-to-toe, it's just what boxing is all about. It's a can't-miss fight. The first fight wasn't a can't-miss fight, and their second fight's not going to be a can't-miss fight. It was an epic battle the first time around. It was easily one of the best fights in 2011. As we've touched on, it seems only fitting now that this is going to be the first big major boxing event in what promises to be a big year for our sport in 2012. The thing about fighters like Andre and Victor, they can fight 100 times, and 100 times, you just know you're going to have a great fight. Obviously, this time around, we're anticipating and expecting a different outcome with Andre. And we're not looking in the past anymore. Andre's not looking in the past. He's made key adjustments and additions into his training regimen, and we think that really showed in his last fight. He stopped a very, very good and dangerous world champion in John Zarek, and we think those progressions are going to continue to show on February 11th. The thing about this fight for Andre, as soon as the last fight was over, he was asking, when the rematch was going to happen. It was never a question for him, if he was going to fight Victor again. It was always when. And I think that shows, testament to the type of fighter and person that Andre is. I mean, he gave up a world championship just to lock in this fight. And we really couldn't be more proud of Andre as a fighter, as a person. We couldn't be happier to be involved in his career and part of his promotional team. And we're just looking for a great event on February 11th. We think that it's going to be all around a great night of boxing, and we're very excited to be a part of it. Thank you.
Cheers for quality.
Okay, good afternoon as always. On behalf of the People's Champ, Victor Ortiz, and all the members of Team Ortiz, it's a great pleasure to be here, and we thank all of you for attending. We at Team Ortiz will convey nothing but respect to Andre Berto. We know he is a great fighter. We know that he has the courage of a warrior with a great team. We know that he is hungry and he has a thirst for revenge. Because we clearly understand all these facts, the only way we know how to respect him, our sport and fans, is to prepare for this fight like never before. I will pledge to our fans that Victor will raise his standards in this fight like never before. And if Andre thought he ran into a freight train last time, this time he will feel the concussion of a nuclear bomb. Andre Berto, Lou DiBella, and Mr. Tony Morgan had made several innuendos that Victor in his previous performance was on performance-enhancing drugs. Team Ortiz would like to declare that we have never in the past, present, or in the future taken any performing drugs. As a matter of fact, we take that statement as a compliment. Shortly after Victor's victory over Berto for the WBC welterweight champion of the world, when Victor came into the locker room, while graced with the glory of that victory, he apologized to his team, only because he said he was performing at his 50% capacity. Now the other side, Berto's camp, thought he performed so good that they implied he must have been on steroids. And that was the only way that was going to happen, this fight was going to happen, if we'll take a test. We will take a test, any time, any place, any manner, by anyone. This is the irony of it all. Okay? Rumors are that Team Berto has associated themselves with Victor Conte. Victor Conte pleaded guilty to the distribution of steroids. Okay? Now, nevertheless, to say the association of Victor Conte will not appease the explosion that's going to happen in that ring February the 11th, 2011. So I invite one, I invite all, because this thing is going to end quick.
When he was last time on 24/7, I think America fell in love with Victor Ortiz, but they really gained a respect for his trainer as well, who is a very humble man, who really looks out for his fighters. He's a terrific, terrific trainer, and really think is a name among the trainers which we're going to hear much, much more about. And that, of course, is Danny Garcia. Please welcome Danny Garcia.
Thank you, Richard. Voy a hablar en español. Muchas gracias a todos por haber venido a la conferencia y buenas tardes a todos también. Solamente vamos a decir un poquito. La pelea pasada que se hizo en abril fue una muy gran pelea, una muy bonita pelea que realizaron Victor Ortiz y Andre Berto. Le gustó mucho a la gente y esta pelea que viene en febrero 11, pues creo que va a estar igual de buena o mejor. Nosotros sabemos que Andre Berto trae muchas ganas de ganarlos la pelea para cobrar una derrota que tuvo, y lo respetamos mucho porque es un gran peleador. Su equipo es un gran equipo que lo ha preparado muy bien y tienen buena experiencia, pero igualmente nosotros también en nuestro lado tengo un gran equipo, tenemos un gran equipo y vamos a trabajar muy duro, vamos a echarle todas las ganas del mundo para salir adelante, vamos a trabajar duro y vamos con el favor de Dios, a salir con la victoria nuevamente. Es una pelea muy interesante, toda la gente la quiere ver porque la pelea pasada fue muy buena. Esta vez va a ser mejor. Yo pienso que Víctor trae igual de ganas o más que Berto. Berto tiene ganas de cobrarse la derrota que tuvo, pero Víctor igualmente. Víctor tiene mucho poder para tumbarlo, para noquearlo. Por eso pienso que la pelea está muy buena. And I want to thank everybody for being here. I just want to say that Andre Berto and Victor Ortiz, they're going to do a hell of a fight, great fight, because last time they fought in April, they had a good fight. It was one of the fights that the people we all got excited. So on February 11th, it's going to be the same or even better, because Berto wants to get the rematch. He wants to beat Victor. So Victor wants to beat him again, and the fight is going to be great. So I hope everybody enjoy it, and I know that Berto's team is a great team. It's a great camp because they have a lot of experience, and sort of on our side, we have a great team. My co-workers, they're gonna work hard, and we're all gonna put all the work that we're gonna work hard and then get prepared. So the fight's gonna be good, and I hope everybody enjoys it, and we hope everything comes out good. Thank you, everybody.
Berto came for a very long time, and we wouldn't want anyone else in this corner come fight him. So without further ado, Tony Moore.
Took y'all a while to start clapping. Yeah, this is something. One thing I like about Victor is Victor after the last fight, he never talked, he never said a bunch of BS. He's a straight up guy. We took our loss. Victor, I met him in the airport. I haven't really talked to him a lot. He's not a shit talker. I respect that about him. His team, on the other hand, 24/7. Everyone fell in love with Victor. Somewhere along the fight, Victor fell in love with Floyd, hugging and kissing, and fell in love with the canvas. Like I said, I like Victor. I respect Victor. Victor's a hell of a champion. His team talks too much for him. Come fight night, like I said last time, it'll show its way in the ring. It always does. Last time they were victorious. We take our hat off to Victor. Like I said, he did his job. We didn't. February 11th, we will. I promise.
Thank you, Tony. Next to the podium, I'm going to call one of see, one of the bright young stars in all boxing, two-time welterweight world champion, Andre Berto.
How you doing, everybody? We're very excited to be here. I'm very excited to get this match on and going. The first fight, I definitely take my hat off to Victor, and I feel I wasn't at, where I was supposed to be at night. He came in there, handled his business, his team was focused, he was focused. He came in and did what he had to do, and I respect him for that. And I took my L just like a man, and the only thing that I know how to do is just get back up and keep it pushing. So, exactly what I did. I went back to the drawing board and refocused. I came back in. I won another world title, but this right here is about a little bit of a respect factor for me. So I gave that up just to make this fight happen. I'm a fight fan at the end of the day. The fight that me and him had the first go around, I believe that's the type of fight that made me, fall in love with boxing in the first place. So it just feels good to make this fight happen again, so we can get right back to it. So I show my respect to Victor and his whole team. He has a tremendous team. He's a tremendous fighter, and I'm definitely looking forward to doing it again February 11th. It's going to be fun. We're extremely focused. As soon as we leave, we're going right back to the gym, and I'm hungry like I need to be, and I'm excited about it. So everybody continue to stay tuned. February 11th, it's going to be another classic. I promise you.
Thank you, Andre. As I said before, I think Victor Ortiz doesn't really need much introduction. He's clearly one of the most exciting, spectacular fighters of today. When Victor fights, it means excitement. He comes to fight. He comes well prepared. He leaves it all in the ring, and that's the kind of person he is. Well trained, well prepared, and he knows. Both guys know what's at stake here. The 147-pound weight class is the weight class. That's where all the big names are. And these two guys are two of those big names. And those two guys fighting each other, they know what it can lead to. So they're going to be prepared. I know Victor was prepared, hungry, and he was not going to be denied earlier this year when he fought Berto for the first time. And you're going to see the same Victor again. He's not going to be denied. He knows, even though it's not for a belt this time, he knows that he's going to be walking out with the W, with the win on that night on February 11th. It is exactly these kind of matchups, with two evenly matched fighters fighting each other at the prime of their career. This is what boxing is all about. This is really boxing at its best. And I'm excited for Victor to have this opportunity to go at it again. And I know that there are going to be many, many other big fights ahead for Victor. And I'm really excited. And it's a pleasure and honor for me to introduce to you, pound for pound, one of the most exciting fighters in the sport, vicious Victor Ortiz.
How's it going, everybody? Good afternoon. Like a good friend over here, Toby said, my team kind of said it all for me. I don't really need to say a whole lot. I prepare very well. I know I'm against a tough opposition. Come on. I captured the world championship, and then I went for the best, Didn't work out my way, but at the end of the day, I don't bow down with my head. I don't put it down, It's one of those things where just go to the drum board and work harder, Yeah, do I disagree with what happened? Yeah, everybody has their opinion, So at the end of the day, you know what? I will prepare myself at its fullest, by 100%. I'll leave everything in the ring, and bring home the victory once again. It's just one of those things. It's life, I don't hate anybody. I respect all of them. Just recently, I saw Lamont Peterson. We fought. We had a great fight, and I congratulated Lamont. Gave him a hug and said, "Congratulations, James." So, at the end of the day, I have no remorse, no hate for anybody. Hey, the first fight was a heck of a fight, hell of a war. So I'm just prepared to get into another one of those, and like Andre said, you know, that's what makes people fall in love with the game. That's what made him fall in love with the game. I mean, it's pretty. I got a lot of it's pretty nuts. I mean, I go down, you go down, and you can't even go across the line. The 12 rounders where you're like, sixth round. It's just, yeah, we're here to box and fight and make a great show. So February 11th, you know, I'm ready, and once again, bring that victory home. Thank you guys.
Thank you, Victor, and thank you, Andre. And just to sum it up, great fight. We know that two gentlemen outside the ring and inside the ring. We already know that too. There's going to be fireworks. It can only be exciting. And I really want to thank Showtime again. As we said, just to sum it up quickly, there are going to be no more non-televised fights. They will be televised on Showtime Extreme. And Showtime will put the parent company, CBS, will put their muscle behind it. So keep an eye out for that. And then some other breaking news, which Steven just gave me a little note on. Showtime will put together a Fight Camp 360 reality program as well to support this great matchup. So I said it in the beginning, this is a fight which is being promoted as if it is a pay-per-view event, but the difference is it's for free on Showtime. So make sure you tune in February 11th, or go and watch it live from the MGM Grand. Thank you.
Everybody in front, you got to get down right now. Stay down.
Ortiz,
Stay down. Right there, guys. Right there. Then right next to you guys. Is that right? Victor? You'll get it. Just hold on. Do not come back this way.
Monica.
Now look straight ahead up for television. You tell Showtime a good one up there. Back in the center, down front here. Right here. Both of you, please. You? Are you good, Showtime?
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Pass clean. No more off. Just another L.
La cobra, puro coraje, la cobra, puro coraje.
Victor. Victor. Right here. Victor. Victor, right in the center here. Victor, right in the center.
Victor.
Guys, for the cameras, if you come up to Andre Berto, right over on the side for Victor.
Right, yeah.